Energy companies across the state are expected to ask state regulators for permission to charge fees for damages from last year's hurricane season.
But for the state's largest power provider, Entergy, cost-saving moves made before the storms have some wanting regulators to ask more questions before signing off so that customers aren't left in the dark all over again.
These are tomatoes, and we have corn growing right here.
Catherine Prevost is proud of the community garden in the Bunny Friend neighborhood. You like being outside here?
Yes, I do.
But after a hot New Orleans day, she's always ready to cool off.
I need my power. I do.
She's seen a recent rise in her energy bill.
A double bill could be $200, whereas my bill might have been $50 at one time. Now it's $200.
And that larger bill means she has to cut expenses elsewhere.
You're going to take something off. You either not going to have more groceries in the house, or you're not going to have extra gas for your car.
Those are tough decisions.
Yeah, it is tough decisions. I think that they are, but those are choices that we have to make, and it shouldn't be.
Prevost is president of the Bunny Friend Neighborhood Association. She says she hears frequent complaints from neighbors.
Their bills are doubled. They're doubled. Some of them really can't afford the price that they are being charged.
So when we told her Entergy made record profits last year, she had a range of emotions.
Sad, angry, upset.
In a year of 3 hurricanes hitting Louisiana, Entergy made nearly $1.4 billion across the company's 4 states, a record-setting year. The profits for Big Entergy includes Entergy Louisiana and Entergy New Orleans, which make up more than half of the corporation's customers.
When the utility has made its profit, shouldn't those customers find some relief?
Logan Atkinson-Burke heads the watchdog group Alliance for Affordable Energy, which is just as concerning to her how Entergy reached its record-setting year.
There's this trick that it appears that Entergy used.
This document from an Entergy presentation spells it out. The company cut $150 million in operations and maintenance expenses.
Typically, operations and maintenance, that includes staff time and includes travel. But it also includes, like maintenance suggests, things like poles and upkeep of substations and these kinds of things.
Entergy actually spelled out where the cost savings came from. That included reducing employee expenses and, according to Entergy, delaying projects. Is there any way for us to determine how much of the $150 million savings came from reduction of staff, salaries, things like that, versus the reduction of maintenance?
The only way to get that information is for regulators, that includes the New Orleans City Council or the Louisiana Public Service Commission, to ask those questions.
And they
to
should.
Require, yes, they should ask those questions.
Our job as regulators, as effectively utility police, is to make sure that in the end we get it right.
Eric Skermetta sits in the State Public Service Commission. He, along with 4 other commissioners, regulates Entergy Louisiana.
I am not anti-profit for any company. They're in the business to make money to pay their shareholders.
Skermetta says the commission is currently in negotiations with Entergy on a new rate plan. He doesn't expect any cuts in the future to impact customers. If Entergy is passing any of this $150 million onto Entergy Louisiana customers, you're not going to go for it?
Not in the way it's shaped in that form.
What's unclear if any of these cuts impacted Entergy Louisiana customers last year. We asked Entergy for that information. The company declined a request for an interview. We then asked for an itemized list of where the $150 million in cuts came from. Entergy didn't hand it over and instead sent us a statement, writing in part, importantly, cost-cutting did not involve customer service, reliability spending, or Entergy staffing levels. These cost management measures were used to offset significant revenue losses as a result of the COVID-19 global pandemic. Records from last year show Entergy's operating revenue dropped by about 7%, but the company offset that by the reduction in expenses.
We know that when Entergy has cut operations and maintenance costs before, we know that, for example, outages increased.
The Alliance for Affordable Energy expects Entergy to ask for a storm fee increase to offset costs from last year. This watchdog is concerned Entergy might fund projects with the new fee that should have already been covered under operation and maintenance costs that were instead cut.
So on this side, the operations and maintenance side, we're already paying for it. It's baked into our rates, it's built into the bills, and so we've already paid for it whether Entergy spent that money or not. The question is, are they also getting money on this side for storm restoration to do the work that we've paid for over here?
Unless Entergy is more transparent or regulators push for more information, we'll never know.
Please don't ask me for no more money.
Customers like Catherine Prevost want relief. She hopes all regulators start asking questions.
I think the books should be open on energy. How are you going to ask us to pay more money when you're still sucking us dry like a vacuum cleaner?